So I guess you brought up the Dow. So these are three that we always see like on the news brought up,
Yeah.
right? So you have the Dow Jones Industrial Average, what they say. You got the Nasdaq, the S&P 500.
Hmm.
There's some other ones that are frequently brought up.
Yeah.
So what exactly are these then?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I I base all of my stocks off of the S&P 500, but these are all index funds. And when you
Okay.
think index, it just means average. So
Okay.
these are exchanges where people trade, right? If you've heard of the New York Stock Exchange,
Mm-hmm.
the Toronto Stock Exchange,
Mm-hmm.
right, there's a Texas Stock Exchange going soon. There's a global one. So these are funds that are traded on these exchanges. And the S&P 500 stands for Standard and Poor 500. Poor is not like it's bad. It's a
Okay.
last name with an e at
Okay.
the end. I
Not
don't
the
know why.
standard people and the poor people.
No, I don't know where that comes from, but it's
Okay.
500 companies.
Okay.
500 companies, and it's driven by the top 7 companies on the planet, the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, like like you got
Apple,
Apple,
Nvidia,
Microsoft,
yeah,
Nvidia, and yeah,
yeah,
some of these.
Amazon, yeah,
And but so the 500 top
companies in
companies in
America,
okay in America.
America, yeah, in
Now there are
America.
other S and P's as well, right? I think I saw S&P Global.
Hmm.
So is that the idea again that you have the top global companies
Yeah,
in the world
yeah,
in that bracket?
yeah.
Okay.
So one thing just for your audience too, because I talk to a lot of people, they say, "Oh, I invest in the S&P 500."
Yeah.
You can't invest in the S&P 500. It's impossible.
Oh,
That is literally just an index. And when you see all these things global, those are what's called ETFs, exchange traded funds, that are run by a computer. Instead of a financial advisor, they're run by a computer, a robot. And all they do is they mimic and track what the S&P 500, because that is just an index. Index, index, index. They're just
these
averages of what the
okay.
market's doing. So
Okay.
so it's virtually impossible to invest in it because that is just the average.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So the Dow Jones then are they looking at different companies than
A lot of
the
the same
S&P?
ones, but a lot more than just 500. As
Okay,
if you look
this
at the cost of the Dow Jones right
yeah,
now,
like it's
it's
yeah, it's
40,000 and whatever, and the S&P is like I don't know 5,000, and I don't even pay attention to the Nasdaq. I'm so
okay,
far.
yeah, so that makes a lot more sense then.
Yeah,
Okay, so this is just it's just giving the numbers of so and so many
that
companies.
are listed on that exchange.
Okay, and what the average is of how that's going up.
Yes, yeah,
All right, okay,
and you
because
could
I would have
decide to isolate them and say this is cool.
yeah,
How is Microsoft doing within there, and
yeah,
it'll show you performances and stuff like that too. If you're the kind of
okay,
person that's inclined to buy individual stocks as
yeah,
opposed to funds and portfolios,
yeah.
if you
Okay, so if you wanted to, you could you say, hey, you know what? I want to invest in the S&P 500. Well, then you just take all of the 500 companies that are there and you put $100 in each or whatever.
that, or you could just buy an ETF. I mean, most of our
Yeah.
mutual funds are based on the S&P 500 that we offer. That they,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
almost all of them are,
Yeah.
where they'll have a couple of those good companies in there, a couple of the smaller ones,
And I
and
guess when you think about the S&P 500, then it's kind of a win-win situation because I guess if a company were to go down,
mhm.
then it gets out of the S&P 500 and the one that is going up gets put in its place. Would that be
Yeah,
how it works?
yeah. There's a lot of it's like a big scoreboard almost, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're just tanking, then you won't be there for very long because we're
Yeah.
talking top 500, right?
Yeah.
If you've heard of the Fortune 500,
Hmm.
Primerica is a Fortune 1000 company. Our goal is to get to the Fortune 500, and we'd actually be a publicly traded company listed on that index, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
We're a good company, but we're not good yet.
Hmm.
So
Okay.